Hello, awesome people from all over the world. So today I'm here again and I have created a website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and it's responsive to other types of devices too. So let's take a look. So the very first thing you guys see here is the Navbar. So you can see that I also put a hover effect on and it's also responsive. The other thing you see here is this banner, which is this images also to a banner, and after that we have this about section which has this content inside itself and this button too. Then we have our services, so you can see the services that they provide. It's just something that you could see here. It's just about designing, not the actual services. So after that we have contact us, and at the end we have our team, which I've used some images for here. If you want to have access to these images, you could head over to a website called Unsplash and also Pixels. These are two websites that provide non-copyright images which are really high quality. So I'll also put some some effect on these, so when you move your cursor on, you'll see that it changed, and it takes too much time because its quality is really too high. Maybe these pictures that I've used here has a size of 8 MB. So at the end we have our footer, and at the first of the tutorial I mentioned that this website is responsive to other types of devices too. So you can see that even I decrease its size, but it's it's still organized on a web page. And also you notice that our menu changed to a hamburger menu. So if you want to just click on this, you get these menus, these tabs, and if you don't want to just click on, and you're gonna get right out of them. So let's create it out, but before doing that, hit that subscribe button to my YouTube channel if you want videos more than these videos like this more. So I'm gonna go in Visual Studio Code. So here in Visual Studio Code, I've already created a folder called responsive web design, and inside this we have the images, that I've used in this project here. So, and here I'm gonna create our index.html file and start coding. So I'm just saying start index.html, and here I'm gonna type HTML, and this is going to generate this blueprint for us. So here what I'm going to say is just say responsive website. So after that, inside the body I'm going to create our container. So I say container start and container ends. So this is going to be the container for all these elements here. So here I will create the container. So I just say container. Inside this container we're gonna have our navbar. So here put a comment and say navbar section start and navbar section ends. So inside this I'm gonna create our navbar. So I just say navbar, and this navbar gonna hold the very first thing that I'm put in this navbar is a hamburger menu. So I just say hamburger menu, and after this I'm gonna create our hamburger. So I just say hamburger, and inside this we're gonna have our lines. If you want to create a hamburger and see how it exactly create, I have already created a folder, a video in my YouTube channel. You can head over in my YouTube channel. If I remember while uploading this video, I will put its link in the description. You can also watch it there. So here I'm gonna duplicate these lines. We will style this later when we get to the topic of being responsive. So after that, here I'm gonna create our logo. So I just say logo, and inside the logo I'm gonna create an anchor tag which is going to refer to nowhere, but here I'm gonna put the logo, which is to learn, as you see in the main project. So after this I'm gonna create our nav items. So here I just say nav items, navbar items, and inside this we have a UL which holds a line that have anchor tag and refer to nowhere but showing home. So this one gonna be about, the other one gonna be the services section, and this one gonna be the contact section, and the last one gonna be the our team section. So, and also these href gonna refer to about section. I'm gonna give this about section an ID, and also forget to show you something. When I click on these menus, you're gonna see that it takes you to different pages, I mean different sections of the website. So if you want to go to the team, just it takes us to the team. If you wanna go home, you just click on home, or take a bath and go home. And after that, you can, if you want to click on about, it just take you to there. The IDs that I'm gonna give to this section gonna refer to this links and just takes us to there. So I just copy this out from here and paste it down, and this one also, and also the our team. So just copy this out and paste it down here and get rid of this space. So I'm gonna open this up in the browser to see how it's looking actually. So but we're gonna bring the magician here, which is a style.css. So we have to link up our CSS file with our HTML. So I say link, and it's going to be referred to, it's href going to refer to HTML.css, style.css, HTML.css. So here I'm going to select everything and get rid of the margin, and also a padding here, so just set it to 0, and the box sizing gonna be border box, and outline gonna be none, so I just set it to none, and list style to none also. The list style, the dots that you saw before I mean, let me comment this out. You'll see that I gave it the margin and padding. So this list style type gets rid of the dots that we have at the left sides of our list item. So after that, here I'm gonna get rid of the text decoration and decoration, and it's going to be none, and the text decoration is the underline that you saw before. And here I'm gonna come and give it a font family, so just say font family, and it's going to be Josephine Sans, and if it then exists, then we're gonna use the sans serif here. So nothing changed here yet, but I'm gonna select the body, and here I'm gonna set its overflow from the X direction to hidden. Why I use this one? Because later when we add these images and put node effects on these, this is going to overflow from our web page in X direction, also I direction, Y direction. So I got rid of them to just this scroll that came, so particularly really annoys me. So after that, that we've selected this, we have to get rid of the hamburger for now. So I just say hamburger burger. So for now, I'm gonna set the display to none, but later when we dive in the topic of being responsive, I will make the hamburger visible. So, and we select the hamburger. Later we will work on this classes which are aligned, and now I have to select the logo here. So let's come here and say a logo. From the logo, select the each one. So in the logo dot each one, what I'm gonna do is to just set this color to orange, color orange. So before doing that, I have to style the navbar here and also the container itself. So I just come here and select the container, and here for now I'm gonna get rid of this and just copy that out, cut that out, and later I'll paste it down. So here I'm gonna set its position to relative, because we will set the position of the navbar to fixed, and later we will also need the position for other elements too. So and here I set its position to relative, and I'm gonna select the navbar itself. So I just say navbar. So after the navbar here, I'm gonna put a width to it, which is 100%, and I'm gonna have the position of fixed. So I just say position, and it is fixed. Why put this position fixed? Because you notice that even we scroll this down and up, still we have our navbar here. So that's the reason to put its position to fixed. So after that, I'm gonna give it a background and our RGBA color. And if you are someone who is following my tutorial all along, you easily can guess at which color I'm gonna give. So I just set it 0.5. So now if I take a look in the main project, I mean the work project that we're working, you gotta see that we have this background at the back of at the background of our navbar. So after that, here I just press this out, and to get a little space and get rid of this one. So here I'm gonna set a display to flex, justify content space between, so I say a space around actually, and align items to center. And you'll see that it's looking like this. And after this, I'm gonna give it a little padding. So I say padding, and its padding is 0.5 rem. And later I will put some code here. I will put some code here after we dive in I mean after we dive in a topic of, you know, after the topic of being responsive. So for now I'm not gonna put any comment here. So after that, here I'm gonna select our logo. Before I selected our logo, which it lives inside a logo, but it is not inside. After the logo, I mean inside the logo, we do not have an A tag. We have an anchor tag. I mean, and each one before that of that. I've done that. So here I set its color to orange, and if you take a look, its color changed to orange. I'm gonna give a little size, so I say font size, and its font size is gonna be 32 pixel. And its font family is different than this one, so I just come here and set its font family to font family, and it is Aurora. And if that exists, then we're gonna set it to cursive. So now it changed. Now it's time to install this navbar here. So to do it, when I come here and select the navbar items, which these are also live inside the navbar items. So I just copy this out from here, and from this we have to select the UL. So here I just can say UL, and we're gonna set this is display to flex, and now we take a look at it's looking like this. And after that, here I just copy this out from here because we want to style the li here. So I'm just gonna paste down here and select the li and set this margin to 0 from the top and bottom, but 1 rem from the side. So now you see that we have a little gap between these. So I just copy this out from here again and paste it down here, because we have to select the anchor tag here. So I select the anchor tag, and here I'm gonna set its color to white and font size to 1.2 rem. And we're gonna change the text, so it's just a text transform, and it's going to be capitalized. And you'll notice that each of the word's first letters become a capital letter. Before it was a small letter. So after that, I think that we've done with in the navbar, but if you notice, when we move our cursor on, it changes to another color, and it is an hover effect. So I'm gonna do that hover effect here too. So just copy this out from here and paste it down here, and say whenever we hover on, change its color to orange. So now if I'm gonna go here and move my cursor, you see that it changed, but so rudely. So I'm gonna give it a little, a little transition. So I just say transition, and this transition gonna target the color, and it takes 0.5 seconds. So and after that, we have to create our banner. So to do it, I'm gonna come here and inside our HTML, and after the navbar section, but before the content and dev, here I'm gonna create our banner section. So I just put a comment here, and banner section start, and section start, and here we're gonna end it up, And after that, here I'm going to create a div and give it a banner image class. So after that, inside this, we're gonna have our h1. So I just say h1, and I'm just gonna go here and copy the h1 that we have here. So just copy this out from here and paste it down inside this h1. We also have this p tag, so I just copy this out from here, and here I'm gonna say p and paste it down here. So after that, we have nothing else, but we also have this image that we're going to pass using CSS. So I just come here and say banner section start and end. So here what I'm going to do is to select our banner image. So I just copy this out from here. I do not have a mouse. That's the reason that it takes me too much time to select everything. So here, and here I'm just gonna open this app. Wow, for two of them. So I open this app and I'm gonna give it a background. So I just come here and say background. This background is an image, so it lives inside the images folder, and we have an image called background.jpg. Now if I take a look, it's looking ugly, but we will fix it. So to fix that, I'm gonna give it a little width and height. So I'm gonna come here and here I'm just gonna say width. It's going to be 100%, but its height gonna be height 37 rem. So now see in the browser it's looking like this, but this image is really better than this one. So I'm gonna fix that. So I just came here and say background position to center and background size to cover, and now you'll see that it's fixed itself. But here we have this problem that these are here under the navbar. So I'm going to use the flexbox to bring it in center. So I just say display to flex. I don't know why I don't pass the semicolon at the end of it, because we put the semicolon here. So, and justify content to center, and also align items to center. And you see that it is at the center now, and I'm gonna set the flex direction to column. So I just say flex direction to column, and these are at the organized in columns. So at colors are not visible, so to fix its colors, just come here inside the CSS, and I'm gonna copy this out from here and paste it down here, and select the H1 from here and set its color to a color which is white, and I'm gonna give it a little line height. So I just say line height, and it's 3 rem, and after that text align to center. Why I put this text align to the center, I will explain it. So, and after that I'm gonna also select the p tag from the banner. You notice the p tag that we have here. So just copy this out here, copy this one here, and set its color also to white. Is it white? Let me check. It is light gray, not white. So I say light, and color it is light gray, and we're gonna give it some text align to center also. Text align to center. So now save it, and you'll see that it gets visible. Why I put this text align to center? If I don't pass this, you will see that. Come on, baby. So there's something wrong. And if I don't pass that text align to the center, let me decrease its size. You'll see that these came at the left side of the web page, so you want it to be at the center. I'm gonna get rid of that comment, and you will see that now it's in the center. So, and also that's the same for the H1 tag too. So after that, I'm gonna put some global designing. So I just come here and select the about section, also services section. So I just say services, and the other one is contact. We didn't create these classes yet, but we're gonna need them. So, and after that we're gonna select our team, and we have to put a dot here because this is a class. There's got to be a class. And here we're gonna set it 6 align to center. I will explain this also. These are the classes that we will give to the sections, and also give it a look at padding. So just say padding is going to be 5% from top and bottom and 10% from the sides. So nothing gonna change because these are not gonna affect you anywhere. I mean, these are not going to affect anywhere. So after the banner section, if you take a look here, we have our about us section. So I just come here inside the CSS, inside the HTML, and here I'm gonna create a comment and say about us section start, and here it ends. So, and inside this about us section, I'm gonna create its div and call it about, and this is gonna have an ID too, because whenever we click on this, we want it takes us to the about section. So I just say ID, and its ID refer to about too. So inside this about div, what we're going to do is to create our each one, and this each one gonna have a class of title, and inside its inner HTML we're just gonna say about us, about us, why you want to talk about the us. So after that we have a p tag, and inside the p tag I'm just gonna go here and copy this out to just look the way that our previous web page looks. And let me check, we have this button too. So after this I just come and create a button and give it a class of btn. So now we've done with this, we have to style it. To do so, after this comment I'm gonna come here and put another comment and say about us section start and ends. So, and here we're done with HTML with what it called with banner. So I'm gonna select this title here. So we say that wherever we have this title, because we're gonna create too many of these titles here. You see that we have this title here, here we also have it, and here we also have it, and at the end we have on our team. So I'm just gonna put a global styling here. So inside the about section, I'm gonna target the each one which has the title class. So here we're gonna give it a margin of 2 rem from all the sides, and a color of RGB, and its color gonna be 53. Actually, why I put 53, and come on baby, RGBA 53 top, 53 top, and 53. So, and a color will change here. So you see that the color changed, and I'm gonna give it a font family. So I say font family, and font family are gonna be the font family that we've used in the logo. So I just copy this from here, copy it out, and put it down here, replace of this font family. So I copied that before again. So I'm gonna go here and again copy this out from here, Control C, and I'm gonna go here and Control V. Sorry guys, Control V. And now you will notice that it shape, that the way that the text looks, the way that this one looks, it looks also. So I don't have the button, I don't know why. So let me check, maybe I didn't have anything inside this inner HTML. Yes, I didn't. So here I just say learn more. land move. So we have our button too. So after that, I'm gonna style this each one a little more. I'm gonna give it a text transform. So I just say text transform, and it's going to be capitalized. In other projects, I mean the others that install, they put this in a capital letters. I also want to put this capital letter, but the problem is that when there is capital letters, I can read it easily, and that's the reason that I put these as a small letters. So if you're someone like me, just comment down below. And if it's just a problem about me, let me know too. And I'm gonna give it a font size of 3 rem, and we're gonna give a little word spacing. You can guess this property what it does by just looking at its name, and our title looks like this. So now I'm gonna target the p tag, all of the p tag. So I just say p, and here I'm gonna give it a little margin from the bottom. So it's a margin bottom, and it's going to be 2 rem, and font size gonna be 1 rem, and also its color gonna be dark gray. So I just say dark gray, and now you'll see that it changed too. So after that, we have to target our button. Our button has a class of btn, so let's just say btn, and I'm gonna give it a width of 180 pixel, a height of 35 pixel, and I'm gonna give it a little border which is 2 pixels, so light, and its color is orange. So I say orange, and you'll see that it changed, and also the inner color gonna be orange too. And yes, it's looking fine. I'm gonna give it some margin to looks, I mean, get a few space from here, more space. So I say margin, and its margin gonna be 10 pixels from the top and bottom, and also from the sides. So I guess fine. I don't want to save the web page. So we've done also with our about section. The next move that we're gonna do is to create our, let me see, we have about section, and after about section we have services. Let me fix myself, I got tired in that position. So, and here I'm gonna come and create our, what it was, about us section, services section. So I put a comment here and say services section start, and ended up here. And I'm gonna copy this out from here, I mean cut it, because we don't want to create this inside this section. So this is the end of about section, so I'm just gonna put it here, and inside this we're gonna create our services. So I'm gonna create a div here, and I'm gonna give it a class of services, and also an ID of services. So I just say services. Inside this, what I'm gonna do is to create an each one, which is going to have the class of title. So it's a title, and inside its inner HTML, we're just gonna say our services. So, and after that, we also have a p tag. So just type p. I'm gonna go here and copy this p tag from here, copy that out and paste it down here. So after the p tag, what I'm gonna do next is to create our different services. So inside this div, I'm gonna create another div, and I'm gonna put a comment here and say first item, items not, and here I'm gonna create a div with a class of different services item. So inside the different services item, you notice that each little services is, here is an item. So here what I'm gonna do is to access our image or create our image, where this image gonna live inside the images, and the image name is services1.png. And after that, I'm gonna create an h3 here. So h3, and this is going to have a class of subtitle, and inside its inner HTML we're just gonna say web development, and in the main project you notice that I typed 3, and this one is also 3. So And after this, we also have a p tag here. So out of this each one, I'm gonna create a p tag, and this p tag have some lorem ipsum here, which is gonna be seven, you know what it's called, 7 words. So, and after that, here we create our first section. Let me decrease its size and take a look in the main project how it's looking. It's looking pretty ugly, but we will fix it. So we need 3 of them. So I'm gonna go here and copy the, let me check, it ends here, yes. So I just copy this out from here, copy. There is something wrong because, no, there isn't something wrong. So I just paste it down here and put a comment here and say second item. And here I say not inside this, outside this, third column, third item. I think that I like polarization that I put items, and this one gonna be 2, this one gonna be 3, and it's in HTML. Let me just save it and go here and copy those from here. I also typed this one wrong, so I just copy this from here, and here I'm gonna paste it down, and here I just fix this, and here we have other, we don't have to copy that one, but I did. So I copy that here and paste it down. So now if you take a look in the main project, I mean the project that we're working is looking ugly, and we don't have the middle one because the size of these image is really big. That's the reason that it isn't working. So we're just gonna fix that. So to fix that, here in CSS, out of this section, I'm gonna put another comment and here say services section start. I don't know, it's services or services. So, and duplicate this, and it is the end. So here I'm gonna target the services. So I just say services, and the only thing we're gonna do here is to give it a background of a hash value if5, if5, and if5. So after this, I'm gonna select the each one that we have in services. So I just say services and select the each one and also the p tag. So here what I'm gonna do is to put them in the center. So I say text align to the center, and also give it a little margin, which is 2 rem from the top and bottom, and 2 rem from the sides too. So nothing fancy but you just notice that here we have a little gap. So we're gonna select our different services. So I just come here in its main container. Here we have different services. No. Services. I did something wrong. So services, and these each different items gonna be inside another div. So I just come here and say div and give it different services. And we have to wrap all the elements here. So before the end of this each one, I mean this div, we have to close that off. Oh, what happened? So let me check that out now. No. There is something wrong. We should have to div and we have the services that ends. No, it's fine. So after that, here this divs also close off here, so it's fine. So I'm gonna come here and select the different divs. So I just come here and different services. So I just copy that from here and paste it down here. And here what I'm gonna do is to give it a little margin from the top, which is going to be margin to top, which is going to be 35 pixel, and its display gonna be display flex, and also justify content space between, so I'd say space between. So now if I save it, and these are looking like this, but you notice we do not have the middle image because the size of that one is really too big, so I will fix that too. So after that, here I'm gonna from the different services, from this different services, we gotta select the different services items. So I just copy this from here and put it here. So here what I'm gonna do is to give it a little width, which is 30%. Now still it don't get fine, but here I'm just gonna select the image. So from the services, I'm gonna copy all of these out and put it down here and select the images that we have here. Now I'm gonna give it a little width of 100%, and the margin from the bottom gonna be 25 pixels. So now if you take a look, you'll see that we have these images, but we do not have this image. Let me check what's the problem here. Services 2, so services, image services. Let me take a look here. We have services 3, 2, and it is not a PNG file. It is a JPG file, so we have to change its where we have it, the second one here. It is a JPG, so I say JPG. Now take a look, it's fine now. So our section, our services sections looks the way that we want, like this one, even better than this one because we have some spelling issue here. So then we have our contact us section. So I just come here, and here I'm gonna get rid of the ribbon, and at the end of the section, services section, we're gonna create our contact as section start and its end. So inside this, I'm gonna create its div. So I say div, and it's gonna have the class of contact and also the ID of contact. So I told you that why I put this ID here, because when we click on this, come on, when we click on about, you see that it takes us to about section. When you click on home, it takes us to there. To services, it takes us there. And when we click on contact, it takes us to nowhere. It does, but actually, so because we didn't put any contents here, it don't show that. So inside the contact, what I'm gonna do is to create our H1 first, which has the class of title, and inside it's a inner HTML. I just pass contact as, and after that I feel like they'll put this contact as twice. So after the contact as, we have some we have this form. So I just come here and create a div with a class of form wrapper. So I say form dash wrapper, and inside this form wrapper I'm going to create another div and call it form input, and inside this we're going to pass our inputs, which is type going to be email, and its placeholder also going to be email. So you say placeholder, and it's saying email. So I just copy this out from here because we need it twice. Copy and paste it down here, and I'm gonna change this to text. What I have here, yes, subject. So this is going to be a text, and it's a placeholder gonna be subject with a capital letter, subject. So then we have a text area. So after this I'm gonna come and create our text area here. So I just paste down here and get rid of this one and create our text area. So I just say text area, and this text area, I'm not gonna touch it, but inside it's inner HTML. I'm not gonna pass also anything, but I'm gonna give it a little, a placeholder. So I say a placeholder and it's saying message. So now to check it out, now we have this one. At the end we have also a button. So I come out of this text area but not inside this div. Let me check. Yes, out of this div. So here, out of this div, I'm gonna create our button. So it's a button and its class gonna be btn because it's already styled. So inside its inner HTML, we're just gonna say submit. So after that, we have to style these input types the way that it looks here. So I just come here and inside the style.css, and here I'm gonna start a comment here and say and services. It was contact as section start, and it's in here. So inside this, I'm gonna we have the services. We have to select the input types. So from here, I'm gonna go here and copy this out from here. Form wrapper. From the form wrapper, we want to select the form input. So I say form input. And here I'm gonna give it a little margin from the bottom to, I have to, yes, the margin bottom. Its margin bottom gonna be 15 pixel. And after that, I'm gonna select the copy this form wrapper from here and target the the input. So from here, I also copy this one too and target both of the input types. So I say input, and here I'm gonna give it a width of 250 pixel and also padding of 12 pixel from the top and bottom and 20 pixel from the sides. I'm gonna give it a little border, a border which is 1 pixel, so light and light gray. Now you see that it's looking like this. The only thing left here is to style this message here. So to do it, I just come here and copy that out from here and select our text area. So I say text area, and here I'm going to give it a width of 250 pixel. These are the same with this one, but I didn't know while I was creating that when I get rid of this width, it just messed up. So I just pass it again. So I'm going to give it a little padding of 12 pixel from the top and bottom and 20 pixel from the sides. And I'm going to give it a little height of 80 pixel, and resize going to be none because we don't want the user get and put its cursor here and resize and mess up our web page. So now it's looking exactly like this one looks. So after that, we have our theme section. So I want to come in inside style this HTML. So here I'm gonna put a comment again and say our theme section start and our theme section end. So inside this, we're gonna create our div. So I say div, and it's gonna have the class of our theme and the ID of our theme too. So, and inside this we have our h1. I don't know, and this h1 gonna have the class of title and our theme. So after this each one we have the themes, the pictures. So I divide these pictures into two rows and yes. So I just come here and put a div here and say our theme wrapper. And inside this our theme wrapper, we're gonna divide it into two parts. So I create a div and give it theme 1, and also I'm gonna have the class of theme. And inside this we're gonna pass our divs, which is which gonna have each team member. So I say team members, and I'm gonna give it an image here. So I'm saying image, and its src is inside the images and has the name of team 1. So I say images and team 1. So I increase the size of it so you can copy it easily. So here we have this div which ends here, so I copy this out for a couple of times, I mean 3 times, and take a look. We have these images which are really big, really big. So I change its images name to, it's gonna be the second and this one to third. So here I put the cursor and copy this div because we have 2 columns of this, so copy this out from here and paste it down here, and we have to change these images to, this one gonna be 6, this one gonna be 5. These are the images names, and this is gonna be 4. So we also have these images which are really too big. Anything else left here? No. Come on. Oh, my computer hang. Like me. So after that we have to style it. To style it, I'm gonna increase the size of style.css, and after this comment I'm just gonna say I increase it too much. Here we say our teams section. Yeah, I told you that I like pluralization. So our team section start and here ends. So after that I'm gonna select our team. So I say our team, and I'm gonna give it a background color, background, and its background is a hash value which is f5 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 we've used before. And now I'm gonna select our team wrapper. So I say our team wrapper. Let me check if I do not have any spelling issue here. So I copy this out from here and paste it here. I got tired of it. So I set its display to flex and flex direction to column. So flex direction to columns, because here we used the div, and each of these rows known as one div. So because of that, I set its flex direction to row, but I'm gonna come inside each individual row and set its display to flex and normal flex, not flex direction to the row. So then I'm gonna select the our team wrapper, and from the our team wrapper we have to select the team itself. So I say a team. So here each individual team have the display of flex and justified content to space between, and nothing gonna change. It's looking ugly because these images are really too big. So I'm gonna also give it a little margin here. So I say our team, I'm gonna copy this out from here, our team dot team 1, and from team 1 each of them that have the class of team, give it a margin of bottom, and this is going to be 25 pixels. Still nothing gets fine. So now I'm gonna select each team member. So I copy this out from here again, I did it before, and select the team members. So we have the team members here, and paste it down here, and here I'm gonna give it a width of 30%, not $, and height of auto, and a cursor to pointer, and also overflow to hidden, and we're gonna give its position to relative. And now you see that its width got fine, but it's still looking ugly. So now it's time to fix this. To fix this, we have to select our team image member, and from these I'm gonna select the image, And here I'm gonna give a display of block to it because we want it to break down. And we're gonna give it a width of 100% and a height of 100% and translation, because later we will give it effect, all 0.5 seconds. So now you will see that it gets fine. Yes, it's looking awesome. Do you remember that I put a comment in the Navbar section and I told you that I would come here? So it's time to come here, and you notice that when we scroll down, these images goes up to the Navbar. To fix this, I'm gonna give it a Z index here. So I say Z index, and its Z index gotta be a large number, like 1,000. So now you see that it gets before the images. So we also done with our images, and the next thing we gotta do is to when we move our cursor on, we want to the image come a few to front. So to do that, I'm gonna come here 0.5. This is not 0. And here I'm gonna come and say whenever we move our cursor on team member, what happened to image. So I just say hover. We want the image scale a little, so I say transform scale, and it gotta be something like 2, a scale to 2. So now I save it and move my cursor on, and you see that it comes a little to it gets bigger. So we also done with our team section here, and the only thing left here is the, oh god, my computer hang again. Here we have the footer. So I come in our style, in HTML. So in HTML here I don't have to put any comment because it's too clear. Let me do footer. So inside the footer, I'm gonna create a div and give it the class of footer. And inside the footer, I'm gonna create a p tag. Yes, and to put a copyright here. So I just say copy with a comma. The delimiter at the end of it, and say 2021. 2021. What else? Joy learn. So now I save it and take a look. Come on. And you see that it looks really fine, but the only thing I have to do is to give it a background. So I just copy, let me do it by myself. Footer, and its background gonna be a black color, which is 444. So, and it looking like this, it's still not fine. So I'm gonna give it a width of 100% and a height of, let me do the place of hiding, we're gonna give it a little padding. So say padding of 10 pixels from the top and bottom, and also from the sides. Come on, nothing changed. Did I save it? Oh god. So yes, it's refreshing, nothing changed. I don't know why. Let's select the footer right. Sometimes I even look too closely, I'm not sure if it changed. So it didn't fix by this, so I'm gonna get rid of this, and let's see. 10 pixel, still not fine. So we gave it width 100 and padding 10 pixel, and I'm gonna give it a background that I did. So yes, it gets fine. So my computer just got crazy. I don't know. I see that I even type its code correctly, but it's still looking ugly. So our footer also done. The only thing is left is to set its color to white. So I say color. I think that it's not gonna work. White. Yes. No, it didn't change. So I'm going to copy this out from here, cat it, and here I select from the footer, I select the p tag, and here set the color. So we're also done with everything that we have in our web page, but our web page is not responsive, fully responsive. So see that when I decrease its size, these are fine, these fine, also these are fine, but the only thing that here messed up is our menu. To fix our menu, we need JavaScript. So, and also, yes, we need JavaScript. So I'm just gonna come here and add a media query. Out of this, I say add, where we have add media, and the media gonna check if the width, max width is 720 pixel. Here I'm gonna do something. The very first thing we're gonna do is to select the navbar and set its height to auto, and also flex direction to column. So I say flex direction to column. Now if I decrease its size, you'll see that it changed to a column because this jeweler gets half to that. And after that, I'm gonna select the navbar items. So I say navbar items, and from that select the UL and the set it's just a flex to, flex direction to column 2. So I say flex direction to column, and text align to center. So I say text align to center, and now come on, it should change. Navbar. Yes, it changed. So for now, we want to get rid of this, but here I'm going to create our hamburger menu that when we click on, this gets visible, and if I click on again, it gets invisible, disable. So I come here and say display to none. Now we're gonna create our hamburger. So to do it, I'm gonna come here and type hamburger. So I say hamburger. When it reaches to size of 720 pixel, we want to give it a width of 40 pixel, and also position display. Hope. Sorry, I'm saying hope because it's in my language. So I'm gonna set its display to flex, and in this size it gets visible. I'm gonna give it a, this is width, I'm gonna give it a height of 30 pixel. Nothing is not still visible. I'm gonna give it a little background, but I'm gonna get rid of that. So now you'll see that we have it here, but we want it at the right side. To fix that, I use the position absolute. So I say position, and its position gonna be absolute. So now I'm gonna set a right, and I set a top at top gonna be 10 pixel, and also its right side gonna be 10 pixel too. So now you see that it is here, but we need those lines. We have to 10 minutes. So here wait 10 minutes. So here we have this. To have this, I'm gonna come here inside this. I'm gonna set its display to flex. I already done that. I set the flex direction to column. So I say flex direction to column, and justify column, and justify content to a space between or around. No, between is fine. And align items to the center. So align items to center. So we have not anything to orient this, and here I'm gonna come and select our lines, and the lines, just let me put the hamburger here too. Hamburger, yes, it's fine. So here I'm gonna give the width of 100% and also a height of just 4 pixel. Let me check, it's 4 or 3. Yes, it's 3 pixel, and background of white. Take a look. Yes, we have this. So if I move my cursor on, I want to change it to a pointer, so I just come here and say cursor to pointer. So yes, it's changed, and I'm gonna get rid of the background now. And amazing, looking exactly like this one does, but has a little gap than this one. So let me check. Yes, from the right side it's 30 pixels, not just 10 pixels. So now it's looking fine, and we've right to its fun part, which is JavaScript. So I'm gonna go inside this, and I'm gonna open up the ribbon and create a script.js file. So click on and say script.js, and we have to make sure that our script.js is connected with our HTML file. So at the bottom here, before the body, I type a script, and it's src. src gonna refer to script.js, script.js. So now I'm gonna go inside the script.js, and I'm gonna access the Hamburger menu here. So I say Hamburger and assign it to document.query selector, and this is going to select the Hamburger, and we need it one more time, and this time we're gonna select the Navbar. So let me check this out here. I'm gonna show you where I'm selecting. So from the from the Hamburger, I mean, we access the Hamburger. We also need this navbar items, because we want to disable and enable these items that we have here. So I copied that from here, and because we have this li here, so I put this here. And after that, inside this list navbar item, we want to access the li. So I just come here and put the li here. So say li. So now actually the ul, not the li, because we disable and enable the ul, not all the li, because later if we access the li, we need to look through over on. That's the reason that I select the ul. So here, if you watched my, if you haven't, go ahead and watch my tutorial about the navbar. If you haven't, I will explain it here. So I'm gonna create a count, click here. So var count, I can't see well, guys. So count, click, and by default assign it to 0. Then I'm gonna say Hamburger dot add an event listener to it, which is going to listen to a click event, and call it an arrow function here. So inside this arrow function, I'm going to increase to the number of count click plus plus, and inside this if the, so before doing the if, whenever we click on, what I'm going to do is to get the navbar item, navbar items, and here I just come here and say navbar items, and from the navbar items want to access the cell and set its display to flex. So now I'm gonna go here, and if you click on this button, you'll see that this gets visible, but it don't get visible even I click again. So that's the reason that I'm writing this condition that I did before. So here I say if the count click remainder by 2, I'm just gonna put this inside the parentheses, remainder by 2 is equal to 0. What I'm gonna do is to display this, else take this navbar item and say this it display to none. So I just come here and say display to none. So what I did here, every time we click on the Hamburger menu, it increases the number of the clicks. So when it increases, we will get the remainder of the clicks and divide it. We get the number of the click and gets the reminded on 2. And then if the reminded is equal, this is just going to generate a number, between 1 or 0. So if it's equal to 0, we want to show it if it's equal to other number like 1. So let me just comment down below here. I mean, just comment down console.log it. So I say console.log and put the count, click here, division, I mean, what it called, remainder. So where was it here? Oh, I forgot where is it here. So now if I'm gonna open up the inspect so you guys can see it here, and I'm gonna go in console, and here we have our console, and I'm gonna click on. So here it generates as 0, and if I click on, it gets disappear. Click on, and here also I'm gonna console.log it so you guys can see that it's just going to generate a number between 0 and 1. Click on 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So that's all. And there's a problem that now that I set its display to none, if I increase the size of the web page, let me just get rid of this. I set its display to none, but now if I increase the size of my web page, you could see that we have no items here. To fix this, we have to use another media query here. So as CSS, where we have our CSS. Here we have our CSS, and in CSS, yes, it's selected. I'm gonna come at the bottom of it and create another media query. So I'll say media, and if the max width of this, again, main width, not max width. If the max width of this is equal to, is equal to 700, what it was the previous media query, 720. So I just come here and say 721 pixel. I want to set the, yes, I've done that using JavaScript and while I was doing that by myself, but here I'm just gonna do it like this. So get the navbar, so where I forgot here, I just go here and select the navbar UL and set its display to Control C and set its display to display to flex. So now if I refresh this, and we do not have it, I'm just gonna do it using JavaScript. So I'm gonna get rid of this and I'm gonna go in script.js. So we're gonna say window whenever we want to add an event listener to add listen to the resize events. I say resize. Whenever we resize it, we resize it, we want to call a callback function here, and here what I'm gonna do is to access this navbar list and set its display to, and here I'm gonna set its display to flex, and yes, let's install that display to flex. So, and now if I decrease its size, it gets visible, and if I increase its size, yes, we have it here. But the solution isn't this one. We have to write an if condition here to check if the window dot inner size, inner width is bigger than 721. I say bigger, but I put equal sign. So I say bigger than 721. We want to set it to this one. So I open up this here and close it off here. So what's the problem here with that here? Let me write it from scratch. I messed it up fully. So here, if it's bigger than 721, we want to display this flex. Else, I'm gonna set it to none. Copy this out, paste it down here, and set it to none. So now I increase the size of the web page. It is not visible, not visible, but when it reaches to 720, it gets visible. Ooh, pretty long tutorial, and we finally done. And let me check if everything is fine here. So I move it by here. I'm really tired, and I know that you guys also. So you see that everything is fine, and it's responsive to other types of devices too. Oh god, it was too long tutorial. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that, and coding has this problems that you just mess up with one pixel and you don't know what to do, and you stuck there. But that's okay. If you are someone who is in love with coding, that's perfectly fine for you. And I have an advice for you, that if you do not like messing up with things that you don't like, I mean, while you're just coding and they're just a pixel, you forget to pass an S at the end of your code to just get the transition, it makes you annoyed. Leave that out. But if you're someone who is in love with these types of problem, I really like problems. That's the reason that I like coding. And yes, you guys also can go and choose other job or place of coding if you don't like that. But if you like and staring at a computer, I told you many times, guys, that my eyes I can't see well, but I still love coding. You remember before I was typing, I don't know where it was, but I wasn't able to even see that I increased the size of a web page, but I still love, and I know that one day I'm gonna be successful in this area. So I'm talking because this is the end of the video. The one who loved this gonna listen, the one who don't love me just gonna end up the video. But this is just my experience. I love coding, even though I'm not too expert, but one day I believe that I'm gonna be an expert in. So take care of yourself, and I love you so much. Hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you're still listening to me. Take care of yourself. Bye.